Alright, so Jing Yuan's banner is coming out today in just about an hour and a half from when I'm recording this. So I want to make a video here to talk about should you summon for Jing Yuan. Now, I'm personally going to be doing a little bit of summons on this banner, not because I want Jing Yuan, because I already have Sela. My team's already really good. I want Ting Yun, because it's annoying me to not have every 4-star at launch. And Ting Yun is probably the best 4-star right now. So I just want to get Ting Yun. But yeah, I want to talk about today whether or not you should be summoning for Jing Yuan. And I'm going to go over his kit and stuff, but the short answer is I think if you are a newer account and you don't really have a solidified team, something that's really good about banners like this is that you can make a pretty solid team just off of the featured 4-stars. Because the 4-stars of the banner, you have Su Shang, who is a really good DPS. You have March 7th, which you already have her for free, but you'll be able to get some of her Eidolons if you pull her. She's a good defensive support. She offers up shields. She has some follow-up attacks as well for freeze. And then you have Ting Yun, who is an offensive support that can make your main DPS be even better. And I think with those three, and then plus you get Natasha for free during the story, I think that's a really solid team. And you're going to be able to get a lot done with that. But now to Jing Yuan. Now, Jing Yuan, he seems very good. From the little bit I've seen, I'm definitely going to test him out in the test run when his banner drops on NA. But just looking at what he does here, so he is, I believe he's the Path of Erudition. Let me actually go up to double check. Yeah, he's the Path of Erudition. He's a lightning element. So really quickly to just go over his kit. His basic attack just deals lightning damage to a single enemy. Then his skill is an AoE. He deals damage to all enemies and increases the Lightning Lord's hits per action by 2 for the next turn. His Lightbringer causes lightning damage to all enemies and increases the Lightning Lord's hits per action by 3 for the next turn. So a lot of his stuff is really just about bringing up the amount of hits per action that the Lightning Lord has when that turn happens. Then we have his talent, which is, I think that's the crux of the whole Lightning Lord mechanic. So it summons the Lightning Lord at the start of battle. It has 60 base speed and 3 base hits per action. So you start at 3 hits per action. When it takes action, its hits are considered as follow-up attacks. So things that buff follow-up attacks will be very good for Jing Yuan. And each hit deals lightning damage to a single enemy, and enemies adjacent also receive lightning damage equal to 25% of the damage dealt to the target enemy. So that's really good for AoE, for sure. And the Lightning Lord's hits per action can reach a max of 10, and every time it gets an extra hit per action, its speed increases by 10, and every time it increases by after Lightning Lord's action ends, its speed and hits per action return to their base values. So yeah, okay, so that makes sense. You can't keep the stacks of it. So it's still very good to be able to do that, because if you pair him up with characters that can boost his speed, or even if you have Bronya who can just give him another turn outright, you can get a lot of those stacks in to make the Lightning Lord's damage more effective. So the Lightning Lord is kind of like a longer term attack kind of thing from the looks of it. And when Jing Yuan's knocked down, the Lightning Lord will disappear, and when he's affected by crowd control debuff, the Lightning Lord is unable to take action. So yeah, I'm really interested to look at this Lightning Lord mechanic when I test out Jing Yuan, because it's definitely something it's like you charge it up separately from your own attacks, and doesn't really... It's just kind of something that happens, I feel like, which is a very interesting mechanic for a turn-based game. It's definitely akin to a summon in other turn-based games. So I definitely think that's going to be really cool. And then you have his technique. The Lightning Lord gets extra hits per action if you hit the technique for the first turn, increased by 3. Which is also really good, yeah. So starting battle with his technique will also be really powerful. Yeah, so I feel like building Jing Yuan around the Lightning Lord is probably the best way to go. And I assume the Lightning Lord's attacks will also like deplete the weakness gauge if they're weak to lightning. So that could be really good if you're able to stack that up and just do a lot of damage to that weakness gauge. And if we go here, we have the traces. Let's see the major traces. The first one, if the Lightning Lord's hits per action is greater than or equal to 6, 25% more crit damage. That's really good. At the start of the battle, immediately regenerates 15 energy. Serval also has this, and it's really good because I'm building Serval right now, and this is actually just a really good major trace, especially for Jing Yuan with being able to get more hits per action on the Lightning Lord. And then the Ascension 6 one, after using skill, crit rate increases by 10% for 2 turns. That's really good too. Because I would assume the actually I'm not sure. I'd have to see because I don't know if the crit rate of Jing Yuan is gonna scale towards the Lightning Lord's crit rate. I don't know if those are gonna have separate crit rates because this first major trace talks about the crit damage increasing for the Lightning Lord specifically, whereas for the Ascension 6 major trace, it's just saying after Jing Yuan uses the skill, crit rate increases. So I'd be interested to see how that works. And then his floating liner traces are attack boost, which is definitely good because he is erudition, which is AoE DPS. So he's definitely going to be getting some good boost from that as well. Then for his Eidolons, we have which I personally don't think you really need to whale in this game unless you absolutely, want to. But let's see, for Eidolon 1, when Lightning Lord attacks, the damage multiplier adjacent to the target increases by an extra amount equal to 25% of the damage multiplier against target enemy. That's good. So extra damage on the adjacent enemies. E2, after the Lightning Lord attacks, the damage caused by Jing Yuan's basic attack skill and ultimate increases by 20% for 2 turns, so extra damage is also just really nice. E3 gives +2 to the ultimate level and +1 to the basic attack. E4, for each hit by the Lightning Lord, Jing Yuan regenerates 2 energy. That's actually really good. So you can get, it's not a lot of energy to regenerate, but if you get up to 10 hits per action before the Lightning Lord attacks, that's 20 energy just from charging up the Lightning Lord. So yeah, E4 Jing Yuan can definitely will definitely be able to ult a lot more easily, and they get more hits per action for the next Lightning Lord attack. Then E5 is +2 to skill, +2 to talent, and then E6, each hit performed by the Lightning Lord when it takes action will make the target enemy vulnerable, and the vulnerable state makes enemies receive 12% more damage until the end of the Lightning Lord's current turn, stacking up to 3 times. That's really interesting for an Eidolon, but Eidolons shouldn't be too much of a concern, especially for a lot of players. But I mean, if you're gonna whale, I think E4 is definitely like a really good one, and the E6 is also really good if you're gonna go that far. But even E1 and E2 are solid. But yeah, that is Jing Yuan. I think that overall, Jing Yuan is a really good. He's gonna be a really good character. He's like, if Seela wasn't your playstyle because it's just single target damage dealing, I think Jing Yuan is also going to be really good, and he's going to be more of an AoE character. So if that's more of your type of playstyle and you want to summon for Jing Yuan, I definitely think it's a good idea. And plus you have, as I said earlier, some really good 4-stars to pair along with him. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the guide, I hope it was helpful. Be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe to the channel, all that fun stuff. And I will see you all next time.